Hi, this is Theo and welcome to my channel. What I'm going to be doing today is making this look on my face using the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. Yes, I'm aware this is backwards, but you can use your imagination. That's what it says. Trust. So, I made this look and I'm going to show you how to do it, and then I'm going to show you how to paint it in Adobe Photoshop on a character that you have drawn. So you get two toots in one. Two toots. Two toots. So yeah, we've got a makeup tutorial and we've got a painting tutorial. So I hope you enjoy. If you want to see how I do it, then keep on watching. Okay, so let's start with the makeup part. I'm going to prime my skin with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. It's blue. So basically, all you need to do is you get your little tube, and you do a little bit on your fingers, mush together, and then just massage it into the skin. You can use a brush. I don't think you can use whatever the hell you want. A blending sponge, whatever you like. Bit on the neck. Okay. So now I feel nice and primed. I'm just going to let that settle for a second. Okay, so I'm going to prime my eyes. And I'm just going to use the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot and dip my ring finger in there. Oh, of course, my nail just took a huge chunk out of it. Oops. And you're just gonna blend this in to your eyeball, in your eye places. So now we're done with that, I'm just gonna close this up. So what I'm actually gonna do is get a nice colour close to my skin tone and just gonna set everything nicely. What this does, it means that it helps everything adhere to it and will help everything blend, which is always good, because apparently these Subculture palettes, they don't really blend super great. I've used it once. It was okay. Was it amazing? The colours are really pretty good. So, you know. So here it is. I'm just going to open it up, take off that plastic, and here it is, the Subculture palette. Subculture. I can't sing. I shouldn't try. So what I'm going to be using mostly is the warm colours. So these ones here, because I've already used the greens. Granted, not on camera, but still, it's a bit tired for me by this point. So, what I'm going to do is get a nice, big, fluffy brush. I'm going to gently dip into Adorn, knock off the excess, and get it into my crease. I'll just use light motion, get it in that side bit there. And pretty much just shove it in your crease and use the brush to buff it out for you. Back to Dawn. Now I kind of want to keep all of this like really centered on like the lid and crease area. I don't really want to be winging it out. And basically I'm doing all of this before foundation and everything because apparently the fallout on these is awful. I didn't really notice last time I used it, but I haven't used it once, so what are you going to do? Okay, so we have the nice transition colour going, so I'm going to now dip into All Star, which is the kind of dark maroony pink shade. Can you see? It has completely coated my brush. I'm just gonna wash and then center that, not center it, what the hell. I'm gonna put it on my inner third, kind of like this region. You know, apparently it's completely missed my crease, which I don't know if it's a good thing, so I'm just going to dip back into it and kind of like just pat it on there instead. So now I'm going to go in with Fudge, which is the brown shade, and just wash that up. I've got like a nice flat packing brush. These dual-ended Eco Tools brushes are really fun. And I'm just going to pat that on. So what I wanted to do, I'm going to grab the same end of the brush that I used for All Stuff. I feel like I may have said New Wave at some point. The pinky shade is called All Stuff. And I'm going to put that right on the outside, being very gentle. Like I said, I don't really want to be winging this out, and oh my Jesus, it is pigmented. I think it's already lodged down there. That was not there to begin with. I don't think it was. So I'm just gonna rub Rowdy off. That sounded really wrong, didn't it? Oh my god. Yeah, I would totally rub Rowdy off. If there's anybody rowdy here, I will rub you off. And I'm just gonna lightly do the swishy blend thing. And yeah, I think it's safe to say that they pretty much want to stay where you put them, which is kind of good but awful because, you know, you want to be able to fucking move them. You really do. I'm just going to put the mirror down for a second. Bear with. And so I'm just going to be trying to replicate that on the other side. And just do like a little circle wizards. I find that's easier to kind of keep it where you want it, but also blend it nicely. You can see that it's a lot darker on this side. I don't know if I just placed more pigment or what, but yeah, I'm gonna try to just buff it out a bit. Actually, tempting. I'm gonna just dip back into Rowdy now and add some more colour. With a misadventure, it's a short companion. It can take you wherever you want. Anyway, who else sing random shit while you're doing anything? Not just makeup, just anything. What's the weirdest song you sing when you're alone? Tell me. I want to know. So I can listen to it and then learn it and then sing it when I'm doing random stuff. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it just looks pretty much just brown at this point, which I guess, you know, isn't the end of the world. So I'm going to take the brush that the palette had with it, and I'm going to use the flat end and dip back into All Star and just try to put the pigment back in. Oh, it's working. It's working, I think. Yeah, if you just kind of pat it, it definitely brings out the burgundy, pinky, winey colour. Okay, so I'm just gonna gently dip back into Dawn with that same big ass fluffy brush and just kind of soften everything out a bit more. And you can raise your eyebrows, do whatever, just make sure you keep going back to like the rested eye position. Yeah, it's looking a lot better. I'm here for it. It's okay. It's okay. It's cool. It's working. So now I am going to get Adorn, which is the nice shimmery shard, on a dry brush. Just tap off the excess. That didn't really have much excess at all. And I'm just going to place this like on top of that Fudge shade. Doing something. Something is happening. It's like, so cool. That wasn't a disaster at all. I'm just going to do the same thing on the other eye. It's not, you know, rocket yoga or something. Now, I can't even remember which bloody brushes I used. I'm going to take another joined one. This has a slanty one. That's why I know it's different to the one I used before. That's why I know. So now we are going to dip into Edge, which is that nice mustardy colour. Just bash off. Just do it a couple of times. Why not? And on the kind of inner above, where you put All Star, just gonna tuck it into the inside of your crease. Get it in there, just get it in there. Ugh. That's better. Cool, so I'm gonna repeat that step and we'll be on our way. Right, so now I'm going to dip into Cube. Cube is the kind of one that looks white, but it actually has really pretty like pink reflects on it, which is cool. So I'm just going to use my finger and just going to dip in. You know, dip in didn't really work, so I'm just going to shush back and forth. So if you can see, focus. So it looks super white on my finger, but it's pinky, I promise. It is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go into my brow bone area and just like pat it on there. And smooth it in. You see it's kind of made my brow and pinky. In like harsh light it would be like patow, patow, patow! Like, chow! Yeah, I'd be worried if any kind of powder product you put on your face starts squawking like a pterodactyl, but hey, you know, whatever. Right, so I'm going to finish the rest of my face off of camera, and then I will do the under eye, and then we will get into the next part. You know, the actual art part where I will paint this on a character in Photoshop. It'll be glorious. You will love it, I promise. Okay, so I've done the rest of my face, as you can see. And of course now I'm thirsty. How is it? Didn't you put lipstick on and you're like, oh shit, I'm thirsty now? I should get a straw, but I really can't be bothered. So basically what I'm going to do now is my under eyes with the eyeshadow palette. So pretty much what you can do is do what you did on the top, on the reverse. But we're not going to go as dark, we're going to use more of the yellowy colours. So I'm just taking a little angled brush. Any small brush will do. I'm just using this because it was the first one I picked up. Good thing, yeah. So what we're going to do, we're going to dip into Dawn, our transition colour from before. Tap off the excess. And take this under your eyes. Dawn is down! So, what I'm going to do now is dip very gently into New Wave, which is the actual orangey one. And I'm just going to focus this on the outside under eye. And now I'm gonna use the same kind of brush. I'm just wiping it off the excess. And I'm going to dip into the edge, the mustardy colour. Bosh bosh. And stab myself in the eye. No, what I'm actually going to do is blend this in and connect it up underneath the eye. Kind of like beneath where you put Adorn, so where you've got the sparkly bit. I just noticed I had my lipstick in my hand, so I've been like, Anyway, lipstick aside, back into not new wave, Theo. I'm just gonna wipe this off. Edge is what we're using today, children. We're edgy. No, edge is the one you want, the yellowy one, so you can do it on the other eye. We're almost done. Almost there, kids. What I'm going to do is take my little finger, and really you should just use like a little bit of dippy water or a spray. I'm just going to be gross. I'm just going to lick it because it's my face. And I'm going to rub that into cube, a little pinky cubage. I'm going to use that for the inner corner highlight. So that's it. Now continue watching for the fabulous art. So now we're on to the art part. Here you can see I have already done a face. It is lovely, it is wonderful. I've basically already done the base. So, because this is all about the eye look, you don't really need to know how to do the other stuff. But I'm not teaching you how to paint, I'm just teaching you how to paint this one very specific thing. So, let's get into it. Okay, so I have my line art on a different layer to the base colours, and above that I have my Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette, colour palette that I've swatched. Okay, so now I'm going into the shade Dawn and I'm getting a fluffy brush. And this brush is smaller. To make it bigger or smaller, you can press the plus or minus on your keyboard. I'm also adjusting the opacity. And here we go. I've made a new layer in between the line art and the other colours. And I'm gently brushing in Dawn into the crease, like we did with the eyeshadow. Now, in order to blend, you can press Alt on your keyboard to turn your brush into the eyedropper to pick the colour between Dawn and the skin tone, in order to get a nice smooth finish around the edges. Now I'm going down to All Star, or the fake All Star, and like before, I'm using light pressure with my graphics tablet. I'm using an Wacom Intuos art. I'm using that to lightly draw into the inner third of the eye, using the same technique by eyedropping colours between the skin tone. Now into Fudge on a different layer. And I'm blending that into the centre of the lid. I'm also using that to blend slightly into Dawn in the crease to give it a more natural looking shadow. Now we're on to Rowdy, and I'm putting that in the outer third. This is very, very soft, very light, low opacity. The fluffy brush will help blend it in. I'm now blending that into the crease on the edge, into Dawn. And now I'm going into Edge on a new layer. And I'm putting that right up to the brow bone, right to the bridge of the nose. I'm still going very light, so I still get some of the skin tone showing through. Now on a new layer, I'm going down to, not New Wave, I'm going back into Dawn, don't know what I was doing there, and I'm going to be blending Dawn under the eye. Like we did with the eyeshadow, pretty much. Then now going into New Wave, I'm taking that on the outer third of the lower lash line and using a light hand again with a low opacity brush and pen pressure and blending that into the skin tone. Now we're going back into Edge, and like with the eyeshadow look, we're placing that right underneath the lower lash and smoking it out by using the eyedropper to pick the colour of the skin tone and blend it in. Now I'm taking my Cube base shade. Shimmers are a little bit difficult because obviously I can't just pick one colour for the whole thing, but you know, putting it on the brow bone and then the inner corner. This is also on a new layer. Again, very light strokes. Now, this time I'm going to stark white, and I'm using that to brighten up and make it more shiny. I'm literally just dotting it very gently where I'd like it to give it a more spread out and glittery feel. I'm getting a pink and taking it really light, as kind of close to the pink shift in Cube as I could get. And I'm using very light strokes to dot this in between the white and very, very pale base shade. Now on a new layer, I'm going down to the Adorn base shade, which I know looks completely different, but I'm gently buffing that over where we placed Fudge. And now I'm taking a darker colour and making it slightly golden so we can blend it together. Now I'm going up to place a more goldy, lighter colour and gently dotting that in, like with Cube, to give a more shimmery effect. Now I've taken a flatter brush with pen pressure activated. This means I have a more of a harsher outline, and I'm using a light goldy shade to dot onto the lid. This gives it a more of a glittery, chunky appearance and will add more texture. Now I'm taking the base shade again to do harder, more solid little dots in between that, to kind of look like it's dispersed over the lid. Now taking a bit of Fudge to look like there's little bits of that peeking through the glitter. And I'm using the harder brush to add more dots and little sparkles to the cube. As you can see, I'm also taking a little light pink. Now I'm going back into Edge and making it a little bit darker by going along to the right and then down. This will keep it in a similar colour family but with a darker tone. And I'm using that to deepen up under the brow bone colour. See, isn't this super fun? I feel like I'm being way more serious with this than I was before. Right, so here I am, doing the other side of the eye. It's going to be a bit sped up now, so I will leave you to it. And there you have it, the completed eyeshadow look, painted in Adobe Photoshop on a character. Now you can make them as beautiful as you are. So this is it for the finished look. I hope you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the art part and thought it was a little bit different. Yeah, I'm hoping to post next week, so subscribe, like, share to all your friends, go to your next door neighbor, knock on her door and be like, yo Susan, have you heard about Theo's new fucking YouTube channel? Just tell everybody, share, and I will see you next time. Bye!